Hey guys, today we're going to show you how to become another user on Linux. So probably the most, you should learn this before sudo. Normally people just sudo these days, but if you want to become another user, the first thing I think you should use before learning sudo is the su command. So this is the most basic way of becoming another user. So you'd say su dash space and the username of the other user. Now right now I'm logged in as user 1. I'm going to log in as user 2. So note that I don't have access to do this, so you can use sudo to force it. Alright, so I've user 2. So looks like I haven't set up an environment for this user, which is kind of unfortunate, but I am able to become that user. So this command will change me over to user 2, and sudo will give me root privileges to do that. Alright, so let's exit out of here. Now, if you want to become root, you could run, there's a couple ways you could do it. You could run su. Now, if you don't specify a user, you're going to become root by default. And if you know the root password and the root user has a password, you can log in as root. I do have a password set for root, or do I? Alright, I may not have done that on this system. I've done it in the past on my older systems. So if the root user did have a password, you would be able to log in that way. You can say sudo su and become root that way. So the command to become root is just this. Now sudo will give me permissions to run that command as root and become root. So, any case, there we go. I just changed the password for user 2. Now, let's try becoming user 2 again. I think this would just be a better example to see. So, there we go. So, if I have the password for when you just use the su command without sudo, you're going to type the password of the user you're trying to become. So in this case, I have to type the password of user 2, not of user 1. So I'm logged in as user 1. I know my password. I don't have the password for user 2. Forget what I set it to, so I just reset the password now. And now I can log in as user 2 directly without using sudo. So I could log in like this. And in this case, I would type the password for user 2, right? However, I could also say, if I don't know the password for user 2, I could say sudo, and so long as I have sudo permissions, I can become that user. And it didn't ask me for a password because it's already cached my password, but if it hadn't cached my password, I would just use my own password, the password for user 1. So that's essentially how you do that. Let's exit out of here. Alright, so we can't view the sudoers file by default, so we can use sudo to do that. Now, this is the sudoers file. Now, anyone in the sudo group, this is basically saying anyone in the sudo group has permission to run sudo to run any command that they want. Now, if we grep sudo in etc group, notice that user 1 is in the sudo group. So the user that I'm logged in as is basically like a super user. It has permission to run sudo commands as root and basically do whatever it wants. Whatever user 1 wants to do, user 1 can do. So using its own password. So I could run a command as root. For example, I can't cat the etc group file, or I can, but I can't cat the etc sudoers file, right? I can't view that, but if I use sudo, I can cat that file, no problem. So this run it using sudo allows me to run this command as root, which is really useful. Any case, just getting off on a tangent a little bit there, but essentially that's it. This is how you become another user or log in as another user. You use the su command or the sudo su command to log in as another user, and as an alternative, if you don't want to actually log in as the user and you want to run a command as that user or as root, you can use sudo to do that. So hopefully you found this useful, or at least interesting. If nothing else, you might want to give me a thumbs up. You might want to hit that subscribe button also, and hit the little bell icon. Otherwise, YouTube's probably not going to let you know when we come out with a new video. We do have a lot of great stuff coming up, and we've actually, if you want to check our list of videos, we've already put out a lot of pretty interesting things, some more interesting than others. We cover a lot of great stuff. Coding, servers, hardware, software, 3D printing, electronics, single board computers, robots, networking, all sorts of great tech related stuff that you're not going to want to miss. So if you want your YouTube feed to be that much more interesting, you're going to want to hit that subscribe button. But more important than any of that stuff, you're going to want to leave a comment down below, especially if you know something that I don't know. Definitely let me know, not just for me, but for the next person who comes along and watches this video and reads the comments. Leave a comment for them also. Any comments, questions, criticisms, whatever you want to say, I probably want to hear it. So do leave a comment down below. And that's pretty much it for today. So as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.